Thank you for tuning in to FX Trend Tools. Since we do keep talking about trending indicators and which ones you might want to start using for your own style of trading, I thought it might be good to review how you can set up custom indicators. Actually rename them for each different time frame, and that way you don't have to go in and edit them every time you put them on a chart. Wanted to share with you how to do that real quick. Um, let's get to that. So if we were to actually take a plain chart and let's add one of our indicators here. We've talked about this one a couple times, the RSI indicator that we can put on there. It starts out, this is in the 15-minute time frame, and so we might want to check that out. Do we like that? Okay, let's actually edit the indicator. Pull it up, get an indicator list, edit that one. And we might want to try that one on a 1 hour time frame and see how that changes now. We took a lot of the chop out of it. And you might want to trade that, getting in and out if you want to watch it kind of closely. But if you right click, go down again to your indicator list and pull that up. Now we can try that on a 4 hour. And to me, that's more like what I want to trade. You take a short up here, take that all the way down to here, and you might want to take an uptrend to there, and then we're back into a short. So that's probably more like what I would want to do. So in order to do that and not have to go in there and actually set that indicator up every time, what we can do, and first, one thing to know is you need to have the code for these indicators to actually edit them. And I do have the code on almost all of mine. And what that means is if you look in your list of indicators, see if we go into MQL4, go to indicator list, you'll see almost all of them has an EX4 and an MQ4 file for each one. As long as you have both of those, especially the MQ4, then you can edit that indicator yourself. If you're missing the MQ4 and only have the EX4 file for that particular indicator, then you won't be able to edit that. So as you can see, I have them for almost all of mine. And that's because most of them are custom indicators. So if we right click on that and say modify, instead of putting it on the chart, we're going to modify it. And here we go. And you can see I've modified a few of them already. So, but the first thing you want to do before you start modifying it, you don't want to change your original. So you're going to want to change the file name. So we're going to save that as, let's take out the multi time frame, because now this one's going to be a 240 time frame. And see how we just rename it. Now we can go out down in here and do a lot of things with it. We can change the colors if you like those. Maybe we want to change that blue to a red. And we go down here where it says current period, take that out, and the period that we wanted is 240, 4 hour. And maybe we want to turn the alerts on, so we can type that, change that to true, and we can make sure. And I always like emails, especially when they're nice big 4 hour ones, so that if I'm out someplace I can get an email. So we want to turn that to true so it can email me. This is the style of the arrows, how much it gaps up, arrow size up and down. Maybe we want to change the arrow size a little bit, get a little bit bigger view on that. And then we're going to compile it, and that gives it both of those files again, the EX4 and the MQ4. You compile it. If you don't have any warnings down here, everything's good. So now if we have a clean template, actually my clean still has a few things on here, so let's take those off. Remove, and we want to take objects off. That's a better clean template, so let's save that as clean. That way every time you want to get all the indicators off, you can start out fresh again. And we want to put that 240 on that we just pulled up. 240 time frame. And see, now we've got a red indicator, and I actually think maybe it was this one. Let's see, because I think that might have been a different custom one that I had made. So let's see. That's it. And you can hear the indicators on again. So we changed that to red. We made them a little bigger, and now they're always 4 hours. So all we need to do is drag them onto that chart. We don't have to go adjust it every time. And we might want to go down here to maybe a Bollinger Band indicator, modify that one. I'm going to save that one and put it up there as a 1 hour. Save. And we can briefly go down. Should we get past all that information here? Time frame 60 instead of, because it's not a 1, it actually goes by minutes. So we've got a 60-minute time frame. Compile that, no errors, and we can do a file, save as a 4 hour, change that to 240, compile. Now we've got two of them over here, one that it's a 1 hour, one that's a 4 hour. And then we can see it's kind of hard to tell the differences. But if we change the colors on these to a green and a red, maybe even make them a little bit bigger lines. Then we can tell the 4 hour time frames here, the 30-minute or the 60-minute time frames here, and that helps give us a little better idea of what the longer term time frame is, what the shorter term time frame is. We can set them apart by color. Now remember, we just made those changes on that 60-minute one, so let's go back and do that on the 4 hour one. We can modify that again. We changed it to lime and red, I think, right? So let's go back up at the top. And these blues are going to become lime. Let's say lime green, maybe that's what it is. And the coral is going to be red. We're going to do that for each one of those. Lime. Oops. Green. And red. Lime. Green. change the size of those to 3 instead of 2, so they're going to be a little bit bigger. And we can compile that. And now if we take that off the chart and we put our 4-hour back on, it's going to be exactly like how we set it. So that's a way to put your indicators on, or have custom indicators for different time frames, and not have to reset them up all the time. Just drag them over, and then of course you can make your template. You right click, template, save this as some particular template that you might want, a different view that you might want to call it, and that would be your template. Now to me that's a little bit messy, but it at least shows you on there. So if we took that off, that's a little bit cleaner, and maybe we want to do something like maybe a bar chart down at the bottom for even a longer term. I think we had half trend bar chart. Again, we can do that for a longer term. And we can change that where the alerts are on, emails are on. You can see that we can make those kind of changes. We would want to do that again. Modify. That's how easy it is. It's just to modify and to change it. Here we go again. You gotta get that blue off of there. And put lime, or whatever color you like, and change the time period to 240. Alerts, maybe you want the alerts on like I do sometimes, and we want to put true on emails. I don't care for all those sounds though. False on the sounds. And we're going to save as. Don't forget to save that as a different file name so that you don't overwrite the master though. 240. Compile. No errors. I'll close that. Take it off and make sure it's going to work. Go back down. And there we go. So now we've got something that's, you know, that's a short trend, going short, and that kind of double verifies it. Here's where this one says to take it short. And you can actually readjust those again too. Maybe you want that to be a little tighter, you would change that to a 1. Not a lot of changes on this one that can be made, so you kind of either like the indicator or you don't. But that really double verifies. That's where you want. So that's how you make custom indicators. I do that a lot. You may see that a lot when you see my indicators come up. I thought you might want to try that and start working on your own. And I thank you again for checking us out. Watch for new upcoming videos.